Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Voice of College Football and, of course, the Nebraska spring game, which kicks off in just a couple of minutes. And we hope to see a lot of physicality and action. It's been promised to us by Matt Rule that there will be hitting in this football game. Not the quarterbacks, of course, but everybody else. We will take your comments and calls and questions, of course, in the live chat. And we are opening up the phone lines per se as we leave the link in the chat. For those of you who join us on a regular basis on the Nebraska channel and not necessarily on the other channels, we do this on a regular basis. You should join us on the main channel. We do call in shows all the time. We did one last night talking college football 24/7, 365. Let me catch my breath. We had to relocate last minute, so we are in a new location. There's a few other things that I need to plug in to make sure we are not saying goodbye to you impromptu in minutes. So hang in there and we will take our first call in just a second. And of course, I'll get myself set up so I can help us all track the Nebraska spring game. For many of you, you probably can't see the game if you do not have the Big Ten Network. And we will do our best to let you know what's going on as we see it from play to play. All right. I believe we are ready to go here at the Voice of College Football. And Matt Rule just addressed the sideline reporter there at the Big Ten Network. And we've got a call coming in. So, hey, let's take it. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Who's on the line? Hello? Hello? Nobody's on the line. Okay. So somebody called in, but apparently are not there right now. Okay. Continuing to get set up here. Bear with me. Of course, if you can watch the game, then hey, you don't need me necessarily, but we're going to talk some college football here, talk Nebraska, talk anybody else you would like, but the focus is on the Huskers as we are taking in the first play of the game there. Nebraska setting up. Of course, it's Nebraska setting up at the 28. Here we go. Give left. Oh, the fullback. Yes, I think that was done intentionally, of course. Given to the fullback in the first play of the game. Going to pull up the rosters here. And again, if you'd like to call in, we did have one caller, but he was not available. So hopefully, if you are calling in, Toby. So Toby, let us know if you are ready to roll. We took that call earlier and you weren't there at that point. Matt Rule's on the field now. Frank Solich on the field. Maybe he called that play. Got 7 yards. Hey. And he got the game ball as well. Well deserved for Frank Solich. Frank Solich, of course, fired after a 9-3 season. Can't say that I really remember the circumstances right now. I certainly were following them at the time. All right. So Huskers on the 2nd and 3. Jeff Sims at quarterback. Everybody wants to see Jeff Sims. Again, we had a caller call in. That was Toby, but he was not available. So, Toby, if you'd like to call back and you're available to talk, please give us a call. Anybody else? We have left the link in the chat. Got a 1st and 10 now. And yeah, again, this is the guy that you want to see more than anybody. Practically, Jeff Sims with Ramir Johnson in the backfield with him. And a little give on the left side to Jeff Sims. And actually, that was a quick whistle, but at the same time, they did allow Jeff Sims contact there. He does not have the black shirt on, and we're not talking about the black shirt of defense, but does not have the green jersey on or the black shirt, whatever they wear there at Nebraska in terms of no contact. So there was contact for bringing down the quarterback there. So that's a loss on the play. Looks like we could have had a false start. No, offsides. Yes, a false start. Penalties, of course, really much plagued this program under Scott Frost. Unforced errors were a mark of the Scott Frost teams. It's going to happen at times, but it happened at the worst times and at the worst volume of times against good opponents for Scott Frost and company, and even against bad opponents that they lost to that they shouldn't have to. 2nd and 18. Oh, nice tackle in the open field, but well-delivered football by Jeff Sims on that one. Okay, clean pocket, not a soul around him, and he delivered the ball well. So that's what you would expect a Power 5 starting quarterback to do, or even backup quarterback to do, but delivered the ball well. And there you go. So down inside the 30 now. Again, if you want to talk Nebraska football, we've got the lines open. We've left the link in the chat. Jeff Sims going up top, missed his man. A little more air needed on that one. Let's check out your comments there in the live chat. Dion, I don't understand why people around here think they can't wait for USC and UCLA to join. I mean, how much harder do you want Nebraska's schedule, for God's sakes? Really? It will be tougher. All right, give on the right side. USC will most likely vie to be the best program in the Big Ten. They're not now, but if they get their ducks in order, they have the highest ceiling of anybody in the conference, including Ohio State. Highest ceiling. I'm not talking about right now. So, yeah, and a lot of Nebraska fans, our guy Greg Peterson on Tuesday night, he, in fact, is one of those that wants to see USC on the schedule every year. And then you get UCLA every other year, most likely. That's a tough game and a half to add. All right, bad snap, or was it mishandled there? It is a sack. So credit the defense with a sack, but that obviously that play was blown up by the bad snap. Not a bad snap. Mishandled by Jeff Sims. Dion, take a look at Georgia's schedule. Going to coast into the playoffs. Then think about what the Big Ten office is going to do to Nebraska's schedule. Then, okay, well, Georgia plays a tough enough schedule. Dion. Yeah, I know they don't play anyone non-conference right now, but they are in a conference with, we got a missed field. No, we got a made field goal. Very nice. 4th and 12 converted. Made field goal on the first drive. So a couple nice running plays to the left side, and then the ball down the middle on the completion delivered by Jeff Sims really set up that field goal. I don't necessarily know, Dion, if I understand your complaint. USC and UCLA are joining the Big Ten, and everyone in the conference is going to have to play them to a large extent, meaning they are going to have to play them based on what we anticipate the scheduling format to be. Everyone is going to have to play USC and UCLA either every year or every other year. So this is going for everyone. So the difficulty increase for everyone is going to be just about the same, almost the same. So that's your main concern, is not just Nebraska's schedule difficulty, but Nebraska's schedule difficulty in comparison to everyone that they're competing against in the Big Ten, right? That's the bigger question. And that's basically, to a certain extent, we'll have to see how it comes out, basically null and void. Okay, we're going to have some semblance of a kickoff return. I guess they don't want guys running down the field blocking against each other. So very interesting format there. I guess the actual speed of the collisions is obviously a health factor, but at the same time, they have to practice that, I would think, at some point. But I've never seen that formation where they line up the two units that close to each other and simulate probably 2/3 into the kickoff play. Okay, the white scored 3, the red with nothing. And first possession for the red. Jebba Purdy, the former Florida State quarterback, nobody in the backfield. He swings it out left. A.J. Allen with reception. There you see Jebba Purdy at 6'2", 210 out of Arizona. Nice running play. So the offensive line doing the job on the running play on that second down play for sure. And again, A.J. Allen gets some work on the first 2 plays of the game. Steven doesn't care much either way, says we'll be fine. If you build the kind of program that Nebraska should be, yes, you'll be fine. I'm not saying that USC and UCLA don't provide a challenge, because they certainly do. But the challenge is going to be basically spread out to everyone. Throw right and misconnection there. Poor pass, not exactly on target. If that's a wide receiver out there, they should probably catch the ball, but throwing the ball to the back out there. Those are the type of things you don't want to see, the unforced errors. If you see a pass breakup because the defensive back makes a nice play and it's an incomplete pass because of the pass breakup, that's a really good play, and you tip your cap to the DB. But that play, it's just a misconnection. The player in space is not talented enough to make the catch, and the ball was not on target. All right, Purdy in the shotgun, 2nd and 10. They're running that play clock, and A.J. Allen makes a nice move in the backfield to avoid a would-be tackler and gets about 3 yards. John, good to see you here. Kevin Campbell watching the tail end of the Minnesota spring game, about 300 people there. Yeah, Minnesota did not draw well on television either. We finished up that series. Hope you joined us for our series in looking at TV ratings for 2022. And despite Nebraska's problems on the field, they still draw pretty good crowds on TV. Delivered well, Jebba Purdy, nice. Although that was dropped. And so I want to see a replay on that, because that was our first look at Eric Gilbert, the great Eric Gilbert, I believe is the correct pronunciation. We've been battling back and forth with. I've heard both since he was a freshman at LSU. So the much traveled, this is Eric Gilbert's 4th school. He's almost played at as many schools as he has caught passes at this point. So we're looking at 4th school, and we're looking at about 35 catches. So anyway, got a punt. I would like to see a replay on that, because I want to see if he dropped the ball or if that was a pass breakup. Fair catch by the punt return team at the 25. And was that Billy Kemp? Was that our first look at Billy Kemp, who should have a big year? Left Virginia's, I believe, the 4th all-time leading receiver at Virginia. Kevin is telling us 60,000 plus Husker fans. I'm guessing a few more maybe than 300 at Minnesota. Dion is saying Minnesota's spring game was terrible. You guys hope so, of course, because Minnesota's been a much better football team than Nebraska over the last 5 or 6 years. We will see how it shakes out this year. Nebraska certainly has the opportunity with a competent head coach. I do think that PJ Fleck is a top 15 to 20 coach in college football. And Minnesota's obviously been a much better team. But here we've got a new season, and we're going to find out real soon about that one. Minnesota hosting Nebraska. Oh, that's right. Well, Minnesota's done that a number of times. I did not see the Minnesota spring game. I wanted to, but had some other obligations and actually had to produce a few videos all over the place on the team channels and elsewhere on the main channel. So yeah, they played in a shed. Yeah, they played in their practice facility. I don't even think it's 100 yards. They did the same thing last year and maybe even the year before. I know they did it last year. I think because there might have been weather issues. Okay, our second look at Jeff Sims. He threw one pass and delivered downfield. Oh, look at this. We got an I formation, a true I formation here with the wide receiver going from left to right. And there's just classic Nebraska football. Off tackle, left. All right, so it's Gabe Irvin, the featured back on one side against A.J. Allen at this point. So pretty stout play up front by the defense. Texas fan here, Keaton, welcome. Good to see you here. All right, 2nd and 7. Clock is running, so this is a running clock. Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, never mind. I thought we had an injury or something. We had a coach on the field there. Delivered again by Jeff Sims. So Jeff Sims hasn't just kind of dumped off the football. He's delivered downfield twice, and he's been right on target. Now, good protection. The play fake helped him there, and he just delivered, set, and threw, and bam. It's exactly where that ball needs to be. Put it right on the guy. Billy Kemp. There's our first Billy Kemp sighting as a receiver. So Jeff Sims, Billy Kemp, both come from the ACC, much accomplished, especially, again, Billy Kemp. So this is a good sign that the newcomers, we already know that those two guys can play, especially Kemp. All right, Sims delivers out to the right side. There was a little pressure, and there was a guy right in his face, and he's still, boom, spot on. And again, that's Kemp. Let's see. Okay, there wasn't exactly somebody in his face. From that angle, it appeared as though somebody was like right. All right, so we got a first down play with about 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Red with the ball for this, or the white with the ball for the second time. Give on the left side. And both running games have been pretty productive, especially on this side. So, first down run by Anthony Grant, and bam, gains the first down. Strong run right there. Strong run, good blocking. Grant on the left side this time, but penetration. Garrett Snodgrass, number 41 right there. Good penetration in the backfield. So he obviously found a gap. got into the backfield quick. Tim says Nebraska needs more beef along the D-line. It looks like to make the next step, among other things. So Sims eludes the rush. He gets to the outside. He takes off. That's what he does best. And no gain. So we got a 3rd and long coming up. And again, Jeff Sims has delivered downfield twice. And now he's got a 3rd and 11. So I like to see the quarterbacks in this day and age where most of the throws are slip screens, bubble screens, quick outs into the flat. A lot of this dink and doink. I like to see that he's set up and he's delivered the ball downfield twice. Now, the coverage has not been tight, but still delivered right on time. Okay, I did not like that decision. It's 3rd and 11. The guy's in the flat. And he's got like 3 defenders around him. He's not going to pick up a first down. And there's no pressure on Jeff Sims. Why did he throw that ball? Don't really get that. Oh, bone-fed, corn-fed. Good to see you, man. And he wants to see the I formation. Please. Of course you do. You're old school. Sims does look good. That was a bad decision on his part, but makes for a better field goal. Now, had he waited and nobody was open, sure, that's the thing to do. It set up, again, a shorter field goal, 38-yard conversion there. So that's another conversion by the special teams units, which I believe are wearing the gray, I guess. 6-0. Bone-fed, corn-fed. He has already noticed a huge improvement. There's just flat out a huge improvement all over the board. Okay. Well, I know that Billy Kemp is an excellent addition. I know that to be for sure. He's a really good player. He's a productive player. He's solid. Grant looks good. Yep. So we posted a video a few minutes before the game started. Willis Mingahee IV, you may recognize the name. Columbus, Miami Central High School linebacker, has committed to Nebraska. Kevin says, any guesses on new recruitment after the game? Will the Huskers pick up more talent? We will leave that for the chat. I have no idea. I do not follow recruiting in particular. That's why I bring on recruiting folks. And do not follow Nebraska recruiting in particular. So we'll leave that up to the folks that follow that in the chat. Whoa. Okay. Physical spring game. Love it. It's football. Good stick. All right. Here we go. Give on the right side. A lot of off tackle plays, and somebody jarred the ball loose, and that's not good to see in regards to, yes, maybe the defense was looking for the strip and it's a good play by the defense. We'll have to wait and see, or maybe somebody put a hat on the ball, but this has been a bugaboo for this team for 5 or 6 years and no, that was not a jarring hit. That was not necessarily them looking for the strip. I don't think. I think once the tackler started to make the tackle, he could tell that he had an arm there and stripped it out. So number 93, Wallen, makes a play. Let's find out a little bit more about number 93. Kai Wallen, sophomore, Sacramento, California. And it looks like that was pried free. Kai Wallen, out of junior college, 7th rated edge rusher in the JUCO ranks in this class, top 20 player in California, top 75 nationally. Okay, so they turn it over to the white. And look at that. There you go. There we go. We got the next quarterback in there. And that's one thing that most of these Nebraska quarterbacks outside of Casey Thompson can do, and that's elude tacklers, and they've got decent speed, and they can all run. So Heinrich Harburg is now a true sophomore. Okay. Back to pass. He's looking to run, of course. And I just so they went with the draw play, and it's now 2nd and goal, and that got stuffed. Nebraska fans, obviously, this is between Jeff Sims and Casey Thompson. The only thing that's relevant about these other quarterbacks playing, Jeff Purdy and now Heinrich Harburg, in my estimation, is that, of course, the second string quarterback or the starter can get hurt, and then you're in a situation where if the next guy gets hurt, one of these two guys has to play. Inside the 10 on a 2nd and goal, give up the middle on the left side. And again, Gabe Irvin he just plowed the would-be tackler, just plowed him, just gave him a hip, gave him a thigh, and just, see ya, you can't tackle me. I'm too tough. I ran right through you. So is that a good play? That's not a good play. That's the quandary of the spring game. So Gabe Irvin bounces outside, and number 12 tries to ties him up. And actually, I thought he hit him lower than that. No, he went for a high tackle there. So Omar Brown could not bring him down. Omar Brown is now a senior. And yeah, that's not a good look. You don't want to come to the sideline as a defensive player when you just got buried. Just got buried. There we've got a 2-point play to Billy Kemp, and why Billy Kemp would be left alone, I don't know. Husker D, good to see you. Talk Nebraska football all the time. Join us on Discord. You go to patreon.com, search MarkRogersTV, join us right there, and you get so much more than the Discord. Talk Nebraska football 24/7, 365, but also you get my picks, which always, I'm not going to say it guaranteed for this year, but always have made money. Running back experience. Anthony Grant, of course, almost had 1,000 yards. A.J. Allen, 190. Gabe Irvin, 218. And Ramir Johnson at 674. That's a lot of production back at running back. You're talking about 18, 19, 100 yards. All right, the interesting kickoff there and some really nice moves by Josh Fleeks. Okay. Joshua Fleeks, of course, a senior now, and he is the transfer coming in. Kind of interesting that after this long off season in which we've talked about the next recruiting class, the 23 class, and we saw hang on just a second. Nice thrown ball completed there, but we've got another fumble. So Chuba Purdy delivered there. You know, that ball was right on time, was on target, bam. And then the receiver takes it upfield. And again, we're going to have to see, is this a good play by the defense or careless ball handling by the receiver? That ball was recovered by Ashton Houseman, defensive back. He's a sophomore and brought in. And then it's number 47 making the strip right there. So we get the reception there by Ty Hahn. Ty Hahn on the catch. And then the nice defensive play on the strip. That was by Gabe Stenger, the redshirt freshman. All right. White's got the ball again. They got a 2-touchdown lead, and there's Jeff Sims on the play action. Delivers into the flat, and that ball's dropped. Okay, those kind of situations, those kind of mistakes are disappointing because that's just pitch and catch. Like most of us catch that football 90% of the time. That's just tough to take. Catch the ball. You're a talented athlete. You have a scholarship. We're not asking you to break a tackle. We're not asking you to block anyone. We're just asking you to catch a football. And the guys aren't perfect, but still, that happens way too often with every team. So Ramir Johnson with the drop, but he comes back with a nice run. So they go right back to him. So that's good. He drops a pass and he makes amends for it with a decent run that sets them up for a 3rd and short. Moonbot, 6 guys around the fumble. Yes, that's good to see. Here we go. All right. So the White offense has generally been able to do whatever it wants to. They took the ball down the field the first time they had it and kicked a field goal. Went right down the field, kicked a field goal. Got a big pass play. And now they're gashing them in the run game, although that was stopped, but it was still set up by the 9-yard run by Ramir Johnson. And really the only thing that stopped the White team are their own mistakes there. They get a nice running play again. So right now I'm going the Whites winning on offense, the Reds losing on defense. And I got to say that, the Whites winning on defense too, because they've caused 2 turnovers. Now we don't know if the Red could have moved the ball on them because they turned the ball over like that. We have come to the end of the first quarter and the White is dominating the Red on both sides of the ball. And they may get a play in. Let's get a play in. Let's see some more football. Free football here. Snap it. Just let them snap it. Okay. They didn't. I thought they were going to do their very best to try to get that off. Tim, hard to tell in spring if the offense or the defense is good. Instead, I like to look at bodies and athletic prowess. So, yes, I would agree with that in regards to looking at individual players. But I do believe if we get enough replays, especially to be able to review this, the play on the edges with the wide receivers and the defensive backs, that's pretty much, there is no difference between what goes on in a spring game or a practice even, and what goes on during a game. Wide receiver lined up against a cornerback. Who wins that war? Who wins that battle in terms of, does the wide receiver get off the line or does he get jammed effectively? Does he spin the defensive back around with a great pattern, with a great move? Does he catch the ball? Does he outfight him for the football? That's a valid look at real football, I think. Wide receiver versus corner. The line play, we don't know, or at least I don't know. I don't know if this has been released. Who's where? How are the teams distributed? Are the ones versus the ones, the twos against the twos, or the ones and the twos, or the twos versus the ones? Did they split things up? Do we have a bunch of injuries? I took in Clemson last week, 3 starting offensive linemen not playing, and other offensive linemen not playing. So they got manhandled by the D-line. Travis tells us that Ramir Johnson is underutilized. Want to let you Nebraska fans know that we talk college football every day. So if you love just talking any type of college football, we've got a number of call-in shows each and every week over on the main channel. So lock in on the main channel. I'm releasing a series right now where we're looking at schools that are rumored to go to particular conferences. So think Oregon, Washington to the Big Ten, or Oregon, Washington could default to the Big 12. Think about the four corner schools in the Pac 12 to the Big 12. Okay, how would they do in the new conference? So we're in the course of releasing a series, video by video, where we're looking at the performances of those teams against those conferences in the past and how they project going forward. I did not recognize Eric Crouch with all the facial hair and so forth. He had a baby face, of course, 20 years ago, but that's Eric Crouch at what's he got to be, about 43, 44 at this point? Heisman Trophy winner. All right. We've got the white down to the 21. They're looking to really blow this game open. Early second quarter, they give it inside, so the defense looks stout on that play. Wrapped up the tackle. Here we go. Give inside once again. Nice play. Again, the running back, whether it's been Grant or Johnson, they've made guys miss in the backfield, or A.J. Allen have made guys, the first guy miss, and that was successful, that run, because the running back didn't have a ton of room. There was one tackler. It was one-on-one in the hole, made the guy miss. So again, take that. Good play by the running back, making the defender miss, or defender misses the tackle, one-on-one. All right, Heinrich Harburg belted. So he runs away from that, and he really had no chance. He couldn't even throw the ball away. So a big sack by number 55. And yes, he didn't necessarily make the play. It was, 75 just chased him, missed him. And so really good play off the edge. Well, nobody blocked him, but still coming off the edge. As I try to learn this team. Oh, that was Maverick Noonan. Okay, there you go. 6'3", 245, freshman out of Eichhorn South, Harburg. Whoa, that was batted down, I hope. Who made the play here? I think it was Hutmacher. Yeah, nice play inside. Nash Hutmacher gets the the pass break up. Those plays are huge. That could have been an 8, 9, 10-yard completion if there's a broken tackle. More than that, great play by the nose tackle. Couldn't get the penetration. Knew it was going to be a quick pass. Got the hands up. 3rd and 26. He's going for it. Oh, should have been picked. So instead of hanging it up and allowing his guy to try to fight for it, he tried to whip it in there and, almost picked off. Yeah, you want to put that by the back pylon. And those are the kind of plays in terms of the DB right there, making the play on the interception that you would like to see. That was Javier Morton, Jr. out of Atlanta. All right, the kick from 46 isn't anywhere close. So there's a miss as the red holds this time. Jeff Sims not in the lineup that time, and Harburg still drives the ball down the field, but they bogged down inside the 20. 14 zip. Daniel, how does Nebraska look so far? Are they competing for the West? They are competing for a national championship, Daniel. They're 0-0. No, thanks for joining us, Daniel. Dan Beast Media, good to see you. Thanks for being here. We've got USC, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan wrapped in the chat. Good to see all of you. Delivers to the left. That's a badly thrown ball to Josh Fleeks. Looks like a pretty good crowd there at Memorial Stadium. Certainly no Minnesota crowd. Certainly nothing compared to what the Gophers bring in, but decent showing by the Husker faithful. Daniel says, damn, Nebraska back to 1997 level. Huskers. Wouldn't that be something? All right, drop it off on the right side. Blocker got in the way, but it's a decent gain there. We got a USC channel that we're mighty proud of. We've got 2 stellar live shows each and every week, and Tim Prangley and Eric Anaya host one of them, Trojan Conquest Live. Trojan Conquest Live. It's every Sunday, so you're only one day away. We don't have to wait any longer, too much longer. We are like 28 hours away from Trojan Conquest. And that is coming up Sunday at 5 Pacific. And we got another fumble in the backfield. And we've got another fumble. So we've got 3 turnovers by the red team. They're all fumbles. Okay. Again, we'll have to see good defensive play, careless with the football. What is this? Okay, well, this is created by that Stephon Wynn getting into the backfield. So really nice play and penetration by the big fella up front. Stephon Wynn, of course, the transfer originally out of Anderson, South Carolina, IMG Academy, Alabama. Anthony Grant looks good again. He reads his block well. And he cuts inside, gains 8. Nebraska running game on both sides looks pretty good. Look at that. That's classic. He had a move to make, a decision to make. He made it quickly and kept going. 2nd and 2. 11 minutes left in the first half. John, thank you for the info on Trojan Conquest Live. All right. Now, there was a missed assignment there up front, and the tackler was right there, and he made the tackle. So that was good to see. Number 55 on Grant. Okay. I'm going to have to phonetically spell out Prince Will's last name. Uman Milan? Uman Milan? Out of Austin, Texas. Freshman. I always like watching these spring games also because I see all these guys that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks, either the transfers or the new recruiting class. Dan Beast Media. Yes, Alabama spring game at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I will need to check that out as well. I really need to catch up on some things. I would like to see Minnesota's spring game. Alabama's today, Oklahoma's today. We're going to do an Oklahoma post. I don't know exactly what time that's going to be. Maybe a little bit later tonight. Oklahoma post over on the Sooners channel. Okay, white is again, this has been all day that the white is inside the 20. They're moving the ball. Well, then now they mishandled it. So that's the first one we didn't have to wait. Was that defense generated? Okay, no, that was just a bad exchange. That's just bad. You can't have that. But of course, it's spring. They're working on these things. 2nd and 11. And that looked to be well blocked. That was going to gain some yardage. 3 turnovers by the Red. All decent play. One of them was totally not the offense's fault. The other ones, hey, they allowed the defense to strip the football out. Nice delivery by the quarterback there. Is that Jeff Sims back? He's back in the lineup. And so he delivers there. Tavion Thompson, the sophomore, with a reception there. Jeff Sims, bam, it's been on target every time. Not difficult throws, most of them, but right on time. No difficult throws, actually. Maybe the most difficult throw was possibly the one down, straight down the seam, because he had to get the ball past 2 defenders. But he's right on target. This is going to be an intriguing quarterback competition. You have 2 guys that have started in Power 5 conferences for extended period of time. The Wisconsin spring game is coming up next. Daniel, is Nebraska not throwing the ball in this game? They've thrown about 15 passes. Empty backfield, 2nd and goal. Sims is going to run it. Is he going to beat that man? Oh, look at that. Okay. Now that's bad. You don't want to see that. If you're a Nebraska fan, you do not want to see what we just saw. We saw 2 defenders bounce off of Jeff Sims. Now, Jeff Sims is a strong kid, but he's a quarterback. Should not be running through tackles at the 3-yard line. Should not happen. Runs through 2 tackles. Who were they? Can't tell. Can't see. That's a bad play. And the point is good. It's 21-0. The white has just marched down the field every series. And the one time that it didn't, they got the ball inside the 10. And then Heinrich Harburg, the red defense did have a nice series with a stop in the red zone the last series. But other than that, the white is dominating. Quarterback room, the roll call is Casey Thompson, Jeff Sims, Chubba Purdy, Heinrich Harburg, Logan Smothers, Richard Torres. So it's a deep quarterback room because all those guys bring something to the table. We saw Logan Smothers, of course, make his one start against Iowa a couple of years ago. But when they had to go to Smothers last year down the stretch, that was pretty ugly. Our guy Greg, who joins us on Tuesday night, really likes Richard Torres. But it's all about the top 2 guys. And then it's about finding a 3rd guy in case there's injury that would be the would-be backup. Look at that. Can't have that. So that was number 19. That was Kane Williams who blew the tackle right there. He was the second guy that blew the tackle. All right. We're about halfway through the second quarter. Tony Brown catches the ball and he gets surrounded at the 20. Okay, red team, what you got? Show us something. 3 turnovers by the red team. One was clearly forced by the defense. One was a missed assignment, or maybe the center just got blown up by the nose tackle, Stephon Wynn, and the quarterback didn't have a chance. Blindsided, ball knocked out of his hand. The other 2, ball security. Ball security issues. All right. First down at the 21. And my picture froze. My picture has just frozen. I don't know what just happened with that play because I've got number 21 and he's frozen. Okay, we're back. Guess he got 3 yards. Single setback. Chuba Purdy. There was a well-thrown ball. He threw it right in there. He beat 2 defenders on that play, but it was dropped. So he did trust a running back to try to pull that down in traffic, and that's always iffy. Our Georgia fan, our resident Georgia fan, Dan Beast Media, has MJ Sherman or any of the other corn dogs done anything today? Not that I'm aware of. Chuba Purdy eludes some guys, and now we've got another freeze frame. Okay, he runs it out to the 40. Sorry about that. We've had 2 consecutive plays where my signal froze. Chuba looks right. Guy was covered, so that blew up the play. So fake left, and he had 1 designated throw to the right, and the defense, give him credit. They covered the guy, and Purdy had to give it up. Second and 10, toss it left. Nice little run out there on the edge because that could have been stopped. And Josh Fleeks eluded about 5 tackles there. So nice job there. Third and 3, folks. Single setback. You see that vanilla defense. They're just lining up, playing it straight. And look at that. On a 3rd and 3, that was not the running back. He had no chance. He got the football, and somebody got overwhelmed up front. At least 1 offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, just got completely manhandled. Chuba Purdy, Tim, transferred from Florida State. I remember him at Florida State, and he was a fairly high recruit. Let's see here. I would guess he was top 15 to 20 at quarterback. Chuba Purdy coming out of high school, 7th rated dual threat quarterback, 6th rated player out of Arizona. And what did we have here? A little trickeration that didn't work. Okay, so we had a 3rd and 3, and they tried to fake. Okay, went with the fake punt, and no, not fast enough. If the punter's fast enough, he had green grass in front of him, and number 87 makes the play. So well done by 87. He reads it. And yeah, that's going to be a first down if the punter's a little bit faster. But good play by 87. Snuffs out the punt fake. Brody Tagaloa. He's a redshirt freshman. Yeah, Chuba Purdy. Top 10 quarterback, top 10 player out of Arizona, top 200 player overall. Hope everybody joins us every Tuesday night for our Nebraska show. It's at 6 Central Time. What do we have here? We've got the motorcycle. Is that Matt Rule? Is that Matt Rule? All right. Anyway, give inside. And well, they did the same thing on the red team, and it got covered up. This time, Jeff Sims delivered the ball, but that's a nice pass breakup. Did the same thing. Fake left, stand up, boom, go right. And that was not Jeff Sims. That was Heinrich Harburg. And there you give that up to the defense because the ball was on time. It was delivered perfectly. It looked like it would have been caught, and that was just stripped out by the DB. So nice play by number 13, Malcolm Hartzog. Okay, the sophomore. 2nd and 15. Harburg. Well, nope. So he was hit as he tried to deliver it, and I don't know why people are picking the football up after it's hit the ground. Okay, we can clearly see that the ball was thrown forward, hit the ground, and guys pick up the football and try to run downfield. Okay. Harburg, a nice pass rush inside. I don't know who that was. Would like to see it. Now, see, these are the kind of plays that I would like to see a replay because I want to see what defensive lineman beat what offensive lineman up front. Oh, here we go. Yeah, well, that is, even though there was pressure up the middle, that didn't look like it was going to affect the play. It was the outside rusher on Gabe Ervin. So this is another reason why running backs are more than just runners and receivers. They have to pass block. And Gabe Ervin got overwhelmed there. 3rd and 15. As Bone-Led Corn-Fed is acknowledging number 45, the 45-yard line. And again, Harburg was hit as the ball was coming out, and I believe so. The play was not ruled dead. It was not blown dead, and so somebody picked it up and went all the way for a would-be touchdown. Hopefully, we've got no reviews in a spring game. I gotta hope so. So this is just a great blindside sack. And then we've got an incomplete pass. So I guess it is going to be challenged and overruled, or it's going to be just reviewed. Okay. That's clearly an incomplete pass. John says ESPN is about to air the Colorado spring game. Yeah, I kind of lost track of these spring games today. And we certainly want to keep track of all of this. So throughout this day, we had Iowa, Iowa State, Minnesota earlier at noon. In addition to Nebraska on right now, LSU's on ESPN Plus. Notre Dame's on Peacock at 2 Eastern. We've got Utah on the Pac-12 North. Let's see, is it almost 2? Oh, no. That's right, 2 o'clock at the same time. I'll have to check that out to see if I can see Utah. And Wisconsin, they're on the Big Ten Plus right now. And Wisconsin's on the Big Ten Plus. Yes, Alabama's on ESPN and the SEC Network Plus. Oh, and Colorado's on ESPN starting right now. I think I'll have to open up a window here. Today's attendance, 66,000. What does the place seat? 80? Close to 80? Xavier Betts back in the fold. Runs it out to the 35. Let's see if we can find another spring game. Well, we've got Bama. We can look up Bama and we can check out their quarterback situation with Ty Simpson. And no, we can't. Can't do that. Don't get that. I don't want to pay $10 a month to see a lot of nothing. And I believe the same thing with LSU. Can't get that. But we should be able to get Colorado. All right. White team is the bull again. Again, it's Jeff Sims, and he delivered. Jeff Sims has not, to my recollection, thrown a bad ball today. Not thrown a bad ball. We have left the link in the chat if you want to call the show. I'll leave it back in there. Call the show if you'd like. We are here. We're available. Give us a ring. The link is in the chat. Jeff Sims in the shotgun gives inside. And that goes for about 4. Second and 4. White leads 21-7. Give on the right side and near a first down, Ramir Johnson. All right, 3rd and 1, time to convert. And we also have West Virginia spring game starting, and the West Virginia post game is going to be on the main channel and also on the West Virginia channel, everyone. So you can catch some West Virginia post game. That's going to be about 3 o'clock Eastern. And I can't watch that either. So they forced a 4th down on a 3rd and 1. So the red defense getting a little stout. 4th and 2. Let's see if the white in the I formation just tries to slam it ahead and overpower them, or maybe they're going to try to draw them off sides. That's exactly what it looked like they were trying to do. We've only got 30 seconds left in the first half. Good crowd at the stadium there. Good crowd. Fourth and 2 after the timeout, and a different formation now. Sims delivers for the first down, unless it was dropped. So let's see how much it was. Drop versus missed throw. Got to convert that. The defense wasn't there. They didn't defend it and catch the ball. Okay. Wasn't a perfect throw, wasn't on him, but your receiver catch the ball. That's tough to watch. Catch the ball. All right, so the Reds got some life here. They got to stop. They probably won't have enough time here to drive it all the way down the field with about 4 plays that they could run in 26 seconds. Back to pass. Purdy delivers. That's dropped. Another drop. Eric Gilbert. He's dropped 2 throws. This guy is all-world, 5-star, coveted by everyone, number 1 tight end in the nation, goes to LSU, is all-SEC, freshman, all-SEC. He's done nothing since 2020, so he's had 2 consecutive 0 seasons, off-field issues, and now he's dropped 2 passes. Purdy's got a run. He runs out of bounds after he gains about 6. But, man, if they would have gotten that first play to Gilbert, then they're off and running. They got a chance to kick 3. All right, 3rd and 5, 12 seconds left, and they're just barely past the 40. The best you can do here is try to, do they have any timeouts? We don't know. Yes, we do. They've got timeouts. All right, this is going to be the last play now. He whips it out to the outside, and the running back decides to keep it on the field, and that's the end, unless they call the timeout here. 3 seconds left in the first half. They did get the first down. They've got a chance to throw a Hail Mary now. They take the timeout. That's what you got to do. Okay. So the White has clearly won this first half, but they were dominating early, and now it's been played on a little bit more even terms in the last 4 or 5 series. All right, Purdy, show us what kind of an arm you've got. He's going to have to throw this about 55 yards. Drops back. He throws it from if he's going to throw it, well, he got no chance to throw it. So he just dumped it off, and that's not going anywhere. So that's going to pad his stats. But he did not have the opportunity to throw it deep. White over the red, 21-7. They were clearly dominant. The real MVPs here. So now we're represented in the crowd by Georgia, Michigan, Kentucky, USC, Ohio State. Good to have all of you. Huskers head to the locker room, both the red and the white, 21-7. And I understand that Colorado is on right now. See what they have to offer. Okay. We're out at Folsom Field. It looks like it's pretty cool out there. And there's probably more people there for the spring game than what they had for any of the games. And RG3 and Chris Fowler are doing the game. Don't know why they broke up Fowler and Herb Street for this one, but I like this team. Now, this is a good game for Chris Fowler to be calling because, of course, that's his alma mater there. So the last time Colorado was decent was 2016. They won the Pac-12 South, but they were really smoke and mirrors and really not that good. And they got blown out in their bowl game and in the Pac-12 championship game. The last time they were legitimately good would have been early 2000s. That 2001 team that played Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. That's the last time Colorado's been good. RG3 is really good. I like RG3. Every so often, he and Mark Jones kind of go off the rails and don't pay enough attention to the game once in a while, but that's okay. I'll take all the good with the bad, but it's mostly good. He's really good. Dan Beast Media keeping an eye on Alabama. I can't access that. Deion Sanders is wearing a cowboy hat. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Okay. I personally can take about 8 seconds of Deion Sanders, and then it gets to be a little annoying and a little obnoxious. But that's fine. If that motivates his team, then that's what it's all about. And if that draws in players, which to this point has, we'll see if that continues. Can you tell us one more time that it's time? Can you say that one more time? All right. Sub-freezing. How cold is it there? Let's see this. It's a spring game. What's going on out there? Boulder, Colorado weather. 31 degrees. I don't know if Deion Sanders is going to put up with that for too long. He might be running off to somewhere to coach here in the next 5 years. I don't know that they've paid the man yet. Whatever happened with that? We heard for a long time that they were tardy on their payments to Deion. All right, folks, waiting for the Nebraska second half to start. And I will have to record. What I will do is have to record this Colorado. I should have recorded Minnesota. I got to say, I usually record all the spring games, like all the spring games. Everybody, everywhere, record all the spring games, watch them all. But I got to say, I was a little jaded the last couple of weeks. They were boring. Why record them? I can just go online and look at what I need to look at and go from there. But we will record what we can record here. So anybody who's just joining us, welcome in. We're looking at the Nebraska spring game. Of course, the Huskers are at halftime, a 21-7 lead. So we're checking in on Deion Sanders and Colorado. And meanwhile, in Lincoln, Frank Solich is being honored, which is cool to see. Let's check that out. Now, at the same time, this is somewhat ironic that at the very same time, we are seeing two coaches being recognized. One is formally being recognized, Frank Solich, very old school, traditional coach. And now we're seeing Deion Sanders on ESPN at the same time. Somewhat interesting. Frank Solich, I never met the man, but everything I've ever heard, first-rate class act, just the type of coach that you would want your son to play for. I can't say the same for Deion Sanders. I can't say that I wouldn't want my son to play for Deion Sanders. I would just need to know Deion Sanders a little bit better. I would want to know his motivations a little bit better. I have some issues with Deion Sanders in regards to, again, not necessarily that he's a bad guy. I would just want to know him a little bit better. Like if he was recruiting my son, I'd like to get to know him a little bit, talk to him, find out if he's truly authentic. He gives a feel for not necessarily being an authentic person. And again, that's just a perception. But Frank Solich, again, I don't know him either. But I've only met so many coaches in my life. Deion says that the defense is playing better than he was thinking it would. The defenses have not been torn to shreds, Deion, but at the same time, they've given up quite a bit. The offenses have moved the ball, and the only time the Red has not moved the ball, we don't know what they would have done because they turned it over 3 times just at the beginning of their drives. Stevie, you are making an evaluation of what I just said because you didn't listen to what I said. You didn't listen to what I said. I said, it appears, it seems. I'm sure you've watched people online or watched people on television and you say, man, he seems to be this way or seems to be that way, but you don't know him. I made the same statement about Deion Sanders and I made the same statement about Frank Solich. I don't know Frank Solich. I have heard great things about him, but I don't know the man. I don't know Deion Sanders. I don't know either one of them. Okay. So, Stevie, please listen to my words. Thanks, Stevie. Thanks for being here. Dan Beast Media tells us that Jalen Milroe had a 35-yard touchdown run, pull on the read option. Well, that's something we know he can do. I want to know if he's cleaned up his passing mechanics and if he can throw the ball. The the days and the weeks after the spring game at Alabama with the transfer portal is going to be intriguing because we know what the rumors are about Tyler Van Dyke and Alabama. So appreciate you all being here. Stevie, who do you root for? I don't believe that I've ever seen you join our chat. I don't know if you follow us on the main channel or just here on the Nebraska channel, but I appreciate you being here. Who do you root for? Dan Beast Media, he's been fine on the check down routes. Long balls have been off target. Yeah, it's interesting that, again, if we go back 2 years, Bryce Young had thrown in garbage time like 6 passes the season before, but he was so good, so incredibly good that Nick Saban, even before spring practice. Now, I don't know if Nick Saban would do this now because he would want to keep quarterbacks in camp and on the roster. But that Bryce Young was so good that Nick Saban said even before spring practice, Bryce Young's the starting quarterback. Now there's a quarterback battle. Tua Tagovailoa did not win the quarterback job before he won it in August. Jalen Hurts didn't win it before he won it in August. Mac Jones did not win it before he won it in August. Jacob Coker, Blake Sims, A.J. McCarron, all those guys had to fight through quarterback battles before they won the job, except for Bryce Young. Bryce Young was just that good. Now, Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, you're going to have to keep an eye on that for us, Dan Beast Media. Jalen Milroe versus Ty Simpson. I got to think that Ty Simpson's probably a better thrower of the football. Well, he just hit a 20-yard run. We've never seen Ty Simpson play, but he was the 3rd-rated quarterback in the country. He was a top 25 national prospect. So I can't get the Alabama game on ESPN Plus. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep an eye on the Colorado game. Let's see if they've started yet before Nebraska gets back at it. Curious to see Colorado. They've not started yet. Man, they must have had a long pregame. This Colorado broadcast started at 3, and they still haven't kicked off, I don't think. All right, so we've got the Huskers back on the field. Appreciate you all being here. We had a conversation that was very enjoyable recently with Adam Carricker, so check out that video. Stevie, glad to see you here. You're a Huskers fan, so thanks for being here. You may know that we've got a show on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. Also, recent conversations with your play-by-play guy, with Greg Sharp, and also with Adam Carricker. 2 really nice guys, 2 really fun interviews, 2 really insightful interviews. So check those out. And we just talked to Tom Luginbill. And so the first part of that series has been released. So you can check that out over on the main channel with Tom Luginbill. And now we got part 2 with Tom Luginbill coming out here in the next day or 2. I am going to drop the Tom Luginbill conversation in the chat. Again, I'm going to let you know it's going to be worth your while to check it out, and especially part 2. Especially part 2. Dan Beast Media tells us first quarter over in Tuscaloosa. Thanks for the play-by-play, Dan Beast Media. Appreciate that. All the key plays coming from him. You can catch Dan Beast Media. He's got a YouTube channel here. Just look it up. Check out his offerings. Mike says ESPN better not ruin college football like they did the NFL. Hollywood and rappers in Colorado. I don't know how to exactly interpret that. I don't know that ESPN ruined college football like they did the NFL. Well, the NFL on ESPN, it's not the best product, but it's capable, it's competent, it's okay. The Kornheiser experiment was not great. Other than that, who was their last Monday night? Well, their Monday night team now is Buck and Aikman, so that's first rate. But before that, it was like Levy, Riddick, and Greasy. That was a good team. I'm not a huge fan of Steve Levy. He's okay. He's functional. But Louis Riddick and Brian Greasy, they were good on the NFL broadcast. Now, Booger McFarland, I think it's pretty well determined. You just have to listen to him. Really good football player. Brings nothing to the table. All right, they're kicking off in Lincoln for the second half. And simultaneously, we've got, interestingly enough, Nebraska's second opponent playing at the same time in Boulder. All right. So we've got a run to the outside back here with some Nebraska football. So the interesting comparison between Nebraska and Colorado right now is they both are very excited about their football teams, and they both pack the stadium. When I say pack the stadium, not to the hilt, either one, but really good crowds for a spring game. But the thing about Nebraska is we know that these people are going to be there like 5 years from now. Colorado, this might be like a 1-year thing. This may be like a, Dion goes 3-9 this year, and who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? I have yet to determine really what I expect out of this Colorado Buffaloes team. But certainly, Dion may be gone in 2 years. We'll see. All right, so Nebraska lines it up, and they give inside. Stuffed by the White, holding a 21-7 lead. So the locker room is going to be in honor of Frank Solich, the naming of the locker room. Okay. We're getting updates now from John on the Colorado game as well as Dan Beast Media on the Alabama game. Nice. All right. We pass right, and that goes for about 8. In terms of the spring games that I would like to see today, I'd really like to see Oklahoma. I know LSU's playing today as well. Wisconsin, of course, with their new offense, and Tanner Mordecai would be intriguing. Those would be the priorities. Colorado would probably be in my top 5. Yes, Mike. Good note there. Coach Solich, what a class act. He's back and being honored. And I know he's physically at a rough go. He would have continued to coach because he was doing a heck of a job at OU. All right, out to the 22-yard line. And they convert the first down. Felipe says it started snowing last night. I don't know where that is exactly. It was beautiful yesterday here in the Buckeye State, but now it's down to like low 50s. We had like a 10-day run where it was high 70s and touched 90 and like crystal clear blue skies every day for about 10 to 15 days. And now it's been kind of up and down, back and forth. Beautiful for the last couple of days, and now we're dismal, dreary today, about 52 degrees. Felipe says, Colorado. All right, very nice. I've spent a lot of time in Colorado. Dan Beast Media, thank you so much for the update. Justice Haynes, 5-star, just stud, 4-yard touchdown run. That kid's going to be a good one. Yes, by all reports, by all accounts, a lot of hype surrounding Justice Haynes. So we had an injury on the field. I did not catch who that was. So we got to reset at 1st and 10 for the Red. And Chuba Purdy looks downfield. He's got all sorts of time. He gets flushed to the right and tried to fit it in there down the sideline. A bit of a dangerous pass, incomplete. Get a look at Matt Rule entering the stadium for the first time with a crowd there. Most intriguing teams in the country. 2 of them are playing right now in the spring games, and that's Nebraska and that's Colorado. I'm interested with those 2. All right, so we've got Chuba Purdy gives on the right side, and he's stuffed at the line. John lets us know that Travis Hunter scored a touchdown for Colorado against Colorado. Travis Hunter, of course, was arguably the top player in his recruiting class. And that was just a really interesting, I'm not going to call it sketchy. It appeared to be sketchy, but Travis Hunter, of course, was committed to Florida State for all that time and certainly was just hyper focused on Florida State. And by all indications, as Purdy delivers to the left side, but that's going to be well short of the first down. Nice tackle there. Another good play by 47. He's made a few today. Stenger. Felipe says, I still believe in Dion, but he's going to need a 5-star quarterback to really get CU going. I don't know that he needs a 5-star quarterback. There's not too many of those guys around, first of all. Secondly, all sorts of teams are competitive without 5-star quarterbacks. Now, that wouldn't hurt. I think it's more about developing a quarterback. I don't know. Does he have anybody on staff? I haven't looked into Colorado's staff. That'll be interesting. I don't want to take away from the Nebraska game here, but to look into the Colorado staff to see who they've got on staff that is going to develop the quarterback position. Dan Beast Media says Justice's dad, Vernon Haynes, is a really good dude and a DGD to boot. I don't know what that is. A DGD. Something dog. Dog, go dog. All right. Matt Rule's 3 goals. We didn't see it there. Okay. Stuffed on first down. So the Whites got the ball again, and they lead it with 11 minutes here. Damn good dog. Okay. Second and 5 out near the 40. Jeff Sims in the ball game. And again, now that's a play, and I think that was a drop there. We're going to have to see where that ball placement was, but I don't know that Jeff Sims has thrown a bad ball the entire day. Oh, Eli Holstein. Oh, in at quarterback for Alabama, yeah. He's been on the roster. People forget about him. He was a high recruit, but he's been kind of discarded, at least in the media's eyes, as a viable quarterback in this competition. Out to the 42-yard line. And we got a 1st and 10. Did we have pass interference there? I don't know what happened. All right. Early whistle. Holstein was the number 2 pocket passer quarterback in his class and a top 300 guy. Yeah. Well, at number 2, he must have been way into the top 300. I remember when he came out. All right. So we had some kind of false start procedure penalty on the offense, 1st and 15. Delivered outside. Nice catch out there as Sims threw it away from the defense. What's wrong with my window here? Marcus Washington with a catch. He's in his senior season. Second and 6. Play clock down to 2. Sims steps up in the pocket, eludes a guy, and picks up yardage. So that's Jeff Sims getting away from the rush. Then he decided to run, and he didn't completely break 2 tackles, but he set up a 3rd and 1 where he could have had a sack. There could have been a sack. And then even when he took off and ran, he dodged Hutmacher and another tackler to set up 3rd and 1. Give on the left side. That's a first down run by Ramir Johnson. Shakes and bakes and makes it to the 40, so they get the first down. Okay. 1st and 10, the White moving the ball again. Of course, they have all day. Keep in mind also that we've dropped the link to call the show in the chat if you want to call and talk college football. Delivered downfield to the 25-yard line. Marcus Washington, there's a nice catch. The ball was delivered, and it was delivered where it needed to be, but also Washington had to go down and get it. So nice little pitch and catch there. We could see this combo throughout the season. Sims, flushed right, delivers. Hey, that's the way it should be done right there. That's a throw, but it's not picture perfect for sure, but it's right in the window where it's supposed to be, and Washington comes up with it. Nice job. Down to the 26. All right. Sims gives on the left side, and they get about 1 or 2. Guys, have any thoughts about Nebraska's pickup today in the 24 class? Willis McGahee, the 4th linebacker. Dan Beast Media says Sanders can be entertaining, but this football is still just bad to watch in Colorado. R.W. Tyndall. Sims looked soft at Georgia Tech. How has he looked so far today? Well, he's not thrown a bad pass today. He's not thrown a bad pass. He is, I don't know what his completion percentage is, RW, but he has delivered every pass. Now, only a couple of them have been really challenged, difficult throws, but every pass has been on his guy. And he threw another completion right there. So 3rd and 2. White driving again. We're inside 7 minutes, 3rd quarter. Good to see you, RW. All right, they give it to the outside. Nice play out there on the edge by 44. So that must have been the defensive back there. Sincere Seifi Ulau, the freshman from Nashville, IMG Academy. R.W. Tyndall, has Eric Gilbert played any? Yeah, get this, R.W. I wanted to see a replay on both of these throws, but he's been targeted twice. They've thrown him the ball twice. He's dropped both of them. Yeah, like one of them was the DB was there. The other one, he was just wide open, just dropped the ball. So 2 targets for Eric Gilbert and 2 drops. So it's not look good. It is like not raining. It is starting to hail here. Goodness. I don't know how long this is supposed to keep up. RW says Kirby gave Gilbert every opportunity. Yeah, here we've got a player who signs with LSU, plays 1 season, COVID year, only played, 10, 11 games, less than that, 9 or 10 games, caught 35 passes, had a great start to his career. Then he chooses to go to Florida, stays there for like 4 weeks, leaves, goes to Georgia. Instantly, as soon as he hits campus at Florida, there's some kind of issue off field. He's not going to be with the team. He's back with the team, not going to be with the team. Right? And now off to Nebraska, and we'll see. Yeah, 2 dropped passes, which they don't count, but still, hey, you got to evaluate him based on we know he can play. We know he's got talent. I'm not completely sold that he can play at a high level. He did for about 9 or 10 games, played well, 35 catches. But he's mammoth. I know that. Chuba Purdy on the play action delivers down, and that ball could have been picked. Frank Solich in the booth. Okay. 58-19. Nebraska fans would take that record now. 58-19. That looks like a Bo Pelini record. 19 years as an assistant under Tom Osborne. Goodness. Moonbot says he'll be fine at Nebraska. Are we talking about Gilbert? Maybe he will. I would not guarantee that. I don't know that this is a school program, football program issue. This is probably has some life issues to work through. That's what we're looking at here. Hootsman says, agreed, man, that he's going to be fine. Again, had issues at LSU, had issues at Florida, had issues at Georgia. All right, Purdy in the shotgun, 3rd and 14. And play blown dead. Thought this game was supposed to be over at 4 o'clock. What's going on? I think it was that long halftime. RW Tyndall, college football is better when Nebraska is a good team, and they haven't had a good team depending on what you consider good. When's the last time Nebraska had a good team? Define good. The last time they were competent, capable was when they were going to bowl games like in 2014, 15, 16. The last time they were like a factor in the conference. Well, they've really never been a factor in the Big Ten. I know they went to a championship game, but so the last time they were a factor, that was a good ball delivery by Gilbert to number 17. Ty Hahn with a catch. She's had a couple catches today. The sophomore out of Johnson Brock. Jason says Colorado looks like trash. We've heard that from a couple people. So RW says, yeah, 1990s maybe. So it depends what you mean by good. Again, they were good 5 years ago. They were bowl game good. They were 8-4 good, 7-5 good 5 or 6 years ago. The last time they were seriously a competitor in a conference was their last 2 years in the Big 12. They went to the championship games. They took them right down to the wire. So 08, 09, 2010, I would say it was the last time Nebraska was like truly good in terms of competing for a conference. Jason Moose says, Dion trying to make Mel Tucker's slogan, "We Comin'." Oh, that's already Mel Tucker's. We coming. All right. That's fine. PJ Flex got his slogans. Who else has slogans going right now? Those are the only ones I know. Thrown down for a loss right there on the outside. Troy Boodle makes a nice play on the outside, the freshman, to, I believe, force a punt. Don't see what the down is right now. Clock running at 2:41 left in the third quarter. And no, we've got a 3rd and 5. Purdy, flushed right. Looks like he's going to throw it out of bounds. Jason, that stadium is packed. Poor fans, they believe the hype. Well, I'm going to say it this way. Deion Sanders won at Jackson State. He is creating a lot of excitement in Colorado. He's brought in how many players? What does their transfer portal edition list look like at Colorado? Let's see here. It's some ridiculous number. Chubb on 4th and 5. So 19 players signed out of high school and 29 transfers. Now, I'm not saying that none of these guys can play, but I'm looking for anybody that I know of that was a good player at their previous school. They came from, these transfers this year came from Kentucky, Jackson State, Old Dominion, Kent, South Florida, Bama, Des Moines Kennedy, the linebacker, Ole Miss, Kindrich Breedlove, cornerback, Arkansas, Jordan Dominic, edge rusher, Taylor Upshaw, Michigan, Kavosi Smoke, left Kentucky to go to Colorado. He can play. Miles Slusher from Arkansas, the safety. Players from Florida, Arizona State, Jackson State, Fresno State, Jackson State, Louisville, South Florida, Jackson State, Travis Hunter, of course. Then we've got Jackson State. So he's got about 7 or 8 of his own players coming in. Taj Alston, I remember him at West Virginia. Yeah, I don't have any strong take on Deion Sanders. I would not be surprised if he succeeded. We'd have to define what that really means, succeeding in Colorado. It's a school that a long time ago was competing for national championships. So can that happen again? 5-7, 6-6, something in that range would be a tremendous success this year. My guess is that Deion Sanders is not going to succeed long term. That's my guess. That's my lean. Jason says, I think Deion will be gone in 2 years. He'll find a better school. That could be part of it right there. That could be part of it. So, yeah, Nebraska, 2 minutes left in the third quarter, running the football 21-7. John says succeeding is 4 to 6 wins this year. I would agree. They only won one game last year. If they get to 4, they've got 3 non-conference games that are tough. TCU, Nebraska, and Colorado State. So there's one almost guaranteed win. And if they split the other 2, gets them to 2 wins. They go to 2-7 in the Pac-12. They've got 4 wins. Maybe they go 3-6 in the Pac-12. Oh, we got another fumble. This time the white fumbled at least, and the red picked it up. So now we've got a fumble, and they're not going to show a replay. They're going to show Frank Solich leaving the field, which all due respect to Frank Solich, I was kind of looking to see the replay on the fumble to see what happened. 1 minute left in the third. Jason, Nebraska look better. Does anybody look better or worse? I will basically say that the run blocking has been strong, especially by the white team. So they're running the ball consistently, and they've pass protected for Jeff Sims, and he's looked good. He's delivered the ball. But all right, the red takes over, down by 2 touchdowns, and they fumbled. They've already got 3 turnovers, and they fumbled a snap there. So we have had these kind of situations where we've had turnovers that were not forced. So they just couldn't snap the ball there. And that's understandable because, as they're talking about on the broadcast right now, different combinations of centers and quarterbacks. So why? So that was Chuppa Purdy back at quarterback who missed the exchange there. Heinrich Harburg in the game for the white team. They are up 21-7. Minute left in the third quarter. Every spring game that I've watched this year has been a 2-hour game, and this one is going to go like 3. R.W. Tyndall's watching the Bama game. Saban looks old. Just saying. Oh, come on. Let's be kind. First of all. Secondly, for what is he, 70? 2nd and 7 on the 3-yard run. Probably have 2 more plays in the third quarter. Shotgun, Harburg looks left, delivers low, bad throw, not hauled in, couldn't have been hauled in, hit the dirt. Yeah, these other quarterbacks, Harburg's been around a little bit. Purdy's been around a little bit. Purdy looks better today, in my estimation. I think Sims has looked capable, competent. He delivers the ball. Dan Beast Media lets us know that Jalen Milroe finally hit a deep pass. 3rd and 7. Harburg drops the football, buddy, picks it up and runs it right up the middle because there was a hole there. So he was awfully lucky that there was running room because he just fumbled the snap. So this is the second time a quarterback has just fumbled the snap that was right in his hands. All right, so the clock's running with 21 seconds. 4th and 2. Jason Moose brings up a good piece of information here because there were a couple different players whose commitments were supposed to come down today. And we are going to the fourth quarter at Lincoln, and it's 21-7. We posted videos on a number of commitments today. One just came down for Oklahoma, and that's Jaden Hardy, safety, 14th rated safety in the country. 29th rated player out of the state of Texas, number 162 overall. Safety goes to Oklahoma, Jaden Hardy. I posted a video a couple hours ago. Cole Mullins, edge rusher, goes to Notre Dame out of Georgia. Nebraska gets Willis McGahee, the linebacker, the son of. USC gets an athlete. Now, I don't know what position he plays. Brian Jackson, athlete. 42nd rated, number 457 nationally. USC out of Texas. Jeremiah Hurd, defensive lineman out of Georgia, has committed to Tennessee. Purdue gets a commit today. Wide receiver Jesse Watson out of St. Louis. Arkansas with 2 commits today. Courtney Crutchfield, wide receiver out of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Little Rock's Charleston Collins, defensive lineman. He commits to Arkansas. He's a top 300 player, number 221. Alabama got a commit. That was yesterday on Friday. Caden Jones, linebacker, number 14 at his position out of North Carolina. Oklahoma with 2 nice pickups in the last few days. Arkansas with 3 or 4. Drew Woodass has committed to Clemson. He's a linebacker. Dan Beast Media tells us that Jalen Milroe just took another sack. Jason, Michigan has cooled off some. We need to get back on the trail. R.W. Tyndall, yes. Jermaine Burton still plays for Bama. John says, I wonder if they switch to Wisconsin or if that game gets delayed. I got to think. My guess, it is 4 o'clock. I can't see in any such way that they're holding up a crowd in a game for a spring game. The Wisconsin game, you can watch it on Big Ten Plus. They're thinking, hey, if you want to see the game and you no room to complain, you can watch it on Big Ten Plus. I might be wrong, but I can't imagine them holding up 30 or 40,000 people at Wisconsin because the Nebraska spring game is in the 4th quarter. Dan Beast Media, at the end of the day, even if Raiola commits and signs with Georgia, Nebraska should be happy they went all in for him. He's the reason all those top-tier players visited Lincoln. Those could be fruitful. It's a good point. It is a good point. They did get exposure because of Dylan Raiola to those other players. The White is looking to expand a 21-7 lead, and they tuck it under with Heinrich Harburg, and he bounced off a few guys and gained some positive yardage, gets close to the first down. We got 14 minutes left in the game. Dan Beast Media says maybe Raiola knew that his spotlight would entice them to visit and give them a chance with prospects that otherwise may never have considered Nebraska. Just a thought. And it's a good thought. And it's a reasonable thought. That maybe Dylan Raiola was thinking, okay, I'll give Nebraska a shot. I'm probably not going to go there, but out of respect for my family, I'm going to give them a shot. I want to listen to what they have to say. I'm going to give it a look. I'm going to give it an honest look, but most likely I'm not going to go there. But by going there, hey, other guys will give it a shot. Other guys will show up and see what Matt Rule has to say. John says, according to the ticker, the Wisconsin game will start immediately following the conclusion of this one. Well, you know what they might do is they might put it on tape delay. So they might be recording the Wisconsin game as it's going on and then show it. But I can't believe that they're holding up a stadium of people at Wisconsin. They're not doing that. They're going to show the game immediately following. Because what does the Big Ten Network have to show this time of year? Softball games? Baseball games? This is their money. The game begins following the conclusion of this game. I would truly like to know that they can't be delaying that game. All right. Anyway, doesn't matter. They give it up the middle, and they're down to the 12-yard line. 12:20. And as we are all finding out, and we know this to be true, for as much as we love college football, these spring games are boring. They're boring, but we get to look at different guys, and we get to talk about the games and get to speculate and conjecture and maybe pick up a tidbit here and there, which is good. 3rd and 2. Give to the left side, and that's a big loss by Anthony Grant. Sets up 4th down. And we had hail fall for like a minute. It's gone, and now I see the sun. Very nice. Jason says it's good for scouting. Yeah, to a certain extent. I love the former Nebraska player who's doing the game right now, and I can't think of who it is, but he just made the comment, we're so close. Nice play. You know who's making a showing today is this Casey Stenger, the linebacker, number 47. This is about the 4th play that he's made. This one in the open field on Ramir Johnson just gives him a belt. Bam! That was sweet. That is a Forb tackle. Tim letting us know the defensive line needs an overhaul and more athletes needed at wide receiver, running back, linebacker, and secondary. Nebraska looks 2 years away at least from possibly competing for a top spot in the Big Ten. That's if they do everything right. Jalen Milroe gets picked right back to the other side. Jason says, I mean, nobody is going to show their hand in a spring game, obviously, but you get to see the players to watch out for to a certain extent. Yep. Kind of. Okay. I'm going to certainly, as we always do here at the Voice of College Football, going to provide as much coverage as possible, and I'm going to kind of survey the field in the spring games today and deliver what I believe is important and check out as much as I possibly can. We've delivered videos over on the main channel. We're looking at, here's our big series going on right now, folks. Looking at teams that could, even if it's doubtful, be moving conferences. And I was curious, first of all, to see how have those teams done, how have those schools done against that conference in the last 20 years? And then how do I believe that they project going forward? So we've looked at Oregon and Washington against the Big Ten. I'm going to look at Oregon and Washington against the Big 12. I've looked at Arizona State against the Big 12, and I'm going to go down all the schools again that it's a possibility, even if it's only a 5% chance, could be moving to a different conference and how they have fared. We're going to look at Clemson against the Big Ten and the SEC. We're going to look at Florida State against the Big Ten and the SEC, and also Miami. Dan Beast Media, neither of the perceived top 2 quarterbacks at Bama have looked good thus far. Maybe the rumblings out of T-Town were correct. Maybe they are. Wouldn't that be something? Another fake punt? Is that what we got? Another fake punt? Really? So we know one thing. Nebraska should not run any fake punts this year. Their punters are slow. Ty Simpson underthrows a touchdown pass that's broken up in the end zone, then throws a pick 2 plays later. So Dan Beast Media is letting us know that the 2 quarterbacks in play for Bama not looking good. Jeff Sims going to play a full game here, pretty much. And he delivers once again. So, again, that was broken up, but the guy was covered, and Jeff Sims threw it right there. Okay. Schedule for the Huskers. We've looked at this a million times, but at Minnesota on a Thursday night to open up the season's not necessarily the easiest way to open the season, but that's what the Big Ten is determined. Last year, it was Purdue and Penn State on a Thursday night, and this is going to be a Fox game on the road against Minnesota. Out of conference, at Colorado, Northern Illinois, and I missed the third one, but it's a win type game. All right, delivered to the outside, and Jeff Sims was a little late on that. He needed to be quicker on the delivery, quicker on the read, because he had Marcus Washington out there for a touchdown. Yeah, this was both thrown late, and it was underthrown. So Jeff Sims, this is pretty much the worst throw that I can remember, and it wasn't, it was a bad throw. It was late and a bad throw. But otherwise, I've been fairly impressed. Dan Beast Media, interested to see who Nebraska ultimately goes with at quarterback. Yeah, I think it's an extremely intriguing quarterback battle. I think it's close. I don't think either guy is a slam dunk by any stretch. For sure. Yes. Jason, thank you so much for the super chat contribution. 6-6 for Nebraska? ? All right. Well, I deliver predictions in August, but while you're asking, we will call it up and give it a look. Husker is going for a 43-yard field goal. And he hooked it and missed it. Okay, well, let's see, Jason. If we want to put percentage chances of wins and losses on these games at Minnesota, I'll give Nebraska about a 35 to 40% chance of winning that game. So most likely they lose, but they certainly can win against Minnesota. They go to Colorado. I'm going to say that they've got a 70% chance of winning at Colorado. Colorado is one of the bigger mystery teams in the country. Not that they're going to be great. Nobody expects them to be great, but are they going to be just as awful as they were last year, or just slightly improved, or substantially improved? So Northern Illinois, that's a win. Louisiana Tech, that's a win. They have to win those 2 games. So I would say at this point, you're looking at they need to be 3-1 after 4 games. Then they've got Michigan and they've got Illinois on the road. So it would have to be a situation in which I'm looking at a successful start for Nebraska through the first 6 weeks, 6 games, is 4-2. 4-2. That's reasonable. They lose to Michigan, and they lose one other game. If they do that, they're in really good shape. They could be, they probably will be 3-3, but they could be 4-2 at that point. Okay, we keep it going. Off week. Northwestern has suddenly turned into the worst team in the Big Ten, the worst program, and deplorable until otherwise evidenced. So maybe they get to 5-2. Okay, Purdue, Michigan State, split those two. We're at 6-3. Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa. All right, so I'm going to say most likely 6-6, but with if they're going to deviate off of 6-6, I gotta say the way this shapes up that they've got a better chance of being above 6 wins than below 6 wins. I think that that's more likely that they get to 7 than that they only win 5. That's where I'm going. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for the contribution. That is very appreciated by me, and hope you guys all know that anytime you contribute here to the Voice of College Football, of course, that is helping create content. We deliver tons of content all the time. Love the discussion, debate, analysis with all of you. And we obviously want to keep that going. We want to be able to do this 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Thank you so much for that, Mike and Jason. Dan Beast Media says Jalen Milroe intercepted in the end zone on a Hail Mary by Caleb Downs. Yes, we know Caleb Downs. Yep, to end the first half. Jason is projecting wins against Colorado, NIU, Louisiana Tech, Illinois, Northwestern, and Purdue. That would be their 6. We have had a number of companies step up with sponsorships over the last 3 or 4 years, and you could be the next, whether you own a company or not. So always keep in mind that you could personally sponsor a show, and we could discuss how we could possibly benefit your brand, your platform, or anything that you've got going. Or if you just want to sponsor the channel or the show, hit us up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. Most likely, if you've got a business, then you obviously want to take that to the next level. You want to get the word out. And again, hit us up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. I want to let you know how we can benefit you, how we can promote your business, your organization, your initiative, and do what's right for you. There's a lot of different things beyond what you can see on the surface in regards to sponsorships that we can deliver for you. So hit me up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. We are definitely looking for a sponsor for the Nebraska channel and the Nebraska show. We are looking for sponsors for all the shows right now, all the channels. So regardless of whether it's a decision that you're making because you're a fan of that particular team, almost connected downfield on that one. That would have been fun. But if you're a fan of a particular team and you want to sponsor, then let us know. Or if maybe you just have a business in that area, or you believe that that particular fan base is the direction you want to go and will benefit you, please contact us. We've got Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Nebraska, Iowa channels in the Big Ten. Oklahoma, West Virginia, Texas in the Big 12. We've got Oregon and USC in the Pac-12. We've got an SEC channel. We've got Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Auburn, Texas A&M. In the ACC, we've got a Miami channel. We've got a Florida State channel. We've got a Clemson channel. We've got a Notre Dame channel. So please hit me up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail. 1 minute left in the ball game. And unless we've got some kind of fast and furious rally here, it's going to be a white victory. And I'm sure you will remember 20 years from now that you were watching the red-white game here at the Voice of College Football, and the final score was 21-7. As we almost had a sack, but the quarterback makes it out to the sideline there. Heinrich Harburg looks all over the place, and he doesn't pass. And he broke two tackles. Okay, these guys have to tackle better. Seen that a few times. Oh, so this Chupa Purdy, who was wearing 15 in the red, now he's on the white team. Delivers over the middle, and of course, if you don't know, Chupa Purdy's brother, of course, plays for the San Francisco 49ers and almost took them to the Super Bowl this past year. It was kind of a surprise emergency starter as they kept losing quarterbacks, and he played really well. Comments coming in. Dan Beast Media, I don't see much going on the Georgia channel at the Voice of College Football. Maybe I'm missing things somehow. Yes, you are. We've got a lot going on. We are going to blow it up. We are on the verge of huge, enormous things there. We do talk to Anthony Dasher at Rivals, so we've got a lot going on there. We talk Georgia football with him every couple weeks. But yes, we are. I don't want to announce anything because it's not signed, sealed, and delivered, but we've got some really good things coming on the Georgia channel. So look out for that. And again, don't want to announce anything that's not for sure. It's not for sure. So I always preach undersell, over deliver. And again, since we haven't signed anything yet, but we are very hopeful that we will have some tremendous Georgia football coverage coming your way. And we are around 875 subs. Let's see, our Georgia channel, 875 subs. And I posted a video after the spring game that got about 1,000 views. That's the last thing we posted, was right after the spring game last weekend. I did a spring game preview and did some recruiting updates with Anthony Dasher from Rivals. So that's what we've got going on the Georgia channel right now. But again, hoping to deliver a lot more. Run out the clock. I'm right there with you. 40 seconds left. Chuba Purdy delivers. This has to be the most passes he's thrown in a game since, well, maybe last spring game, but probably since high school. Jason says Oregon is badly out recruiting USC in 2024. It's April. So you might be right, Jason. I'm not saying you're not correct on that. But what I am saying is, you know the deal here. It's at this time last year, Miami had like the 75th recruiting class in the country, and they finished in the top 7. And 3, 2, 1, ball game. White wins 21-7 over the red. Thank you all for being here at the Voice of College Football. And we are going to review a ton of the spring games today and be posting videos. We may go live later. We shall see. But definitely we'll be back on Monday for the Big Ten live show. And that's over on the main channel. The Big Ten live show is coming up Monday at 6 Eastern. And it looks like they want to run one more play on a 3rd and 7. It's good red zone rep to put in here. Yeah, that is the perfect 3-3-5. They just noted that. All right, delivers to the end zone. You got to throw it to the end zone. And there, this is apropos right here. Our guy Stenger made another tremendous play. This guy is the MVP of the game. He is the MVP of this game for the Red. Even though they lost the game, he is the MVP of the game. Great play. So he just kind of sat back there and read it. And of course, Chubb, it's the last play of the game. He's got to throw it to the end zone. So can't really fault him for the pick. He's going to just try to fit it in there, force it in there. And our guy Stenger, he is now my favorite player on the Nebraska football team. Comes through in the spring game. And Nebraska fans, if you can give me a player who had some ridiculous, outstanding spring game for Nebraska, never did another thing, then we could award him, Casey Stenger, the fill-in-the-blank award for the 2023 red and white game. All right, right here at the Voice of College Football, we will see you all very soon. Keep it locked in. Join us on the main channel. We've got so much going on there. And keep in mind, everyone, May is Great Debate Month here at the Voice of College Football. Great Debate Month at the Voice of College Football. So please deliver your Nebraska debates that you want wagered. 1997. Does that ring a bell for anybody out there? 1997. Is there something we could debate centering around 1997? Maybe. All right. We'll see y'all next time.